Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Enigma of Sepia video, and I had to do a video on this because you're not going to see this anywhere else in any of the revenue reviews or gotcha revenue reports. But I did some digging and some research, and according to what I found out, this game, I almost fell over when I read this. This game, bug-ridden, developer not nearly as responsive as should be, questionable copyright, possible issues, brought in close to $1 million and had 1 million downloads. Absolutely insane. I admit it, I like the game. This game's not for everybody. You're either going to love it or hate it, in my opinion. But this game is fun if you are into these types of games, and it's clear that the public agrees to a certain point. And the reason why I bring this up, though, and want to talk about this is because now we know this isn't going to last. It's going to be, it will drop off. Every game has a great first month. Well, I shouldn't say every game, but more often than not, it's a good gauge, but it's going to drop off by at least 30 to 50%. It's just how it is. A lot of people try stuff out. They decide if they like it or not, or something ticks them off, and they move on. But let's, though, talk about what these developers could actually do to really make this game last. And let me preface this as one of the things that bugged me and had me a little timid at the start of this game was, of course, whether there would be an issue with shutdown due to copyright infringement. Well, I'm very familiar with copyright and trademark laws in the US and Canada. I have some knowledge in other areas of the world. And of course, your always biggest concern is Japan, because they're the most aggressive. And from what I've been able to research, I don't think this game actually has that issue. I think from what I've seen and read in some of the cases previously, I don't think they breached that line that is going to be required in most countries that I've seen, which is good news, which means this game should have some legs to it. Now the question is, there's other issues though that have to be addressed. Now there's no doubt this game has been buggy. When it was released, even though it actually had done some open testing previous to its release, there's been a lot of bugs and issues. Now I'm glad to say, as a positive, before we get into the negatives, at least for my server, I have noticed improvements in the gameplay and less bugs, but that doesn't mean that fixes everything. And I know other servers have had issues, and how they are opening their servers as literally brand new initially. I think some have been maybe set up improperly. I don't know. I'm not the developer of the game. But that does and is going to need to be addressed. Now, they do have a bug reporting section. The problem I have with this, though, is quite honestly, is I've even listed a bug in something that to me was important, and it still hasn't been resolved. And that, to me, and it's been probably coming on 2 weeks, is a big issue on how quickly they are responding to these. And if you're bringing in that type of money, then get somebody else in to help if you don't have enough people there. And that, to me, is my first point. You have a game that clearly people are interested in. Now it's time to step up and get everything working as best as possible and address that. But then now you have to think about the longevity of the game. And they also have an in-game suggestions area, which I would highly recommend people go through whenever you can And I'll have a link to the official Discord in the description. And why? Because this is important, okay? Because what's going to happen is you're going to have people come and go, and they have a lot of servers, and there's going to need to be some means to get these servers merged, or in the alternative, you're going to need a means to be able to play with other players on other servers. Maybe the guild system is adjusted so you can use maybe a 20 server range to have people join guilds together cross server. Something is going to be needed to be able to keep the level of activity enough for people to stay playing the game. And that goes to my next point, and that has to do with finding the correct balance between your free-to-play, your light spenders, your mid spenders, and your whales. And why do I bring this up? Because they have characters, one that started out, of course, in the VIP system. Now the shards have been showing up in the events, but only if you're VIP 10 or higher. And really, those characters should be available to all. And let me preface this on how I would handle it if I was the developer. Again, you just need to give the availability to everybody. So maybe for each event, the characters that are either only available through VIP or event characters, maybe their shards are available to everybody, 5 or 10 shards from the start, and then you increase it. So maybe you start and say there'll be 5 Cronus shards available, and 5 of another one, and 5 of another one, as this game progresses, available to all. But then if you're, let's say, VIP 5, now it's going to be 10, and if you're VIP 10 or higher, it's now going to be 15 or 20. That you just do a sliding scale to make it available to everybody, so those players that can't or will not spend it all at least have the luxury of the availability to get those. Now, do I believe you have to have those characters to be good at this game? No. The big plus to this game is that you can level every character up all the way to UR, and then of course you have breakthrough and what I talked about in another video with the artifacts, the awaken system. You can make most characters, any character you choose, pretty goddamn powerful if you choose to. So that's the good news. But I still think in an effort of goodwill, you do something like that, because that's going to really help out your player base and encourage them to want to do the events, to spend more time in the game. But I do highly recommend people go into the bug report section, go into the in-game suggestions, and if there's something on there, you know, comment, like it, something. The more that's going to be on anything, you're going to be able to increase them wanting to look at something. So something that has, you know, 15 likes and 26 comments, those are ones they're going to most likely look at first, because there's more people interested in. Ones that have very little, like 0 comments and 1 like, they're probably going to skip over. Will they read it? I don't know. But the point is, they're going to prioritize what has the higher numbers. So if you do really care about this game, I would highly recommend jumping in there and going into the in-game suggestion a few times a week, and make sure you go through, and ones that you want to back, make a point. It's simple as just liking it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Thumbs up, whatever. You know, you don't have to write a huge comment about it. And also too, if you're noticing any issues with the game, go to the bug report section. See if you see your issue. Make sure you comment, because similarly, the more they're on there, the quicker they're going to be looked at. Also, don't forget, they do have an email that you can use also outside the Discord. I highly recommend, if you are having an issue, to not only do the bug report, but also email the support at enigmaofsepia.com. I've always been a firm believer, it doesn't make a difference what game it is. You blast everywhere when you have an issue or notice an issue. But that's about it. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to bring up A, of course, that the game did incredibly well out of the gate, as shown at the beginning of this video, and B, how is this game going to survive? It really needs the attention of the developers for the remainder of the bugs in the system, quicker responses, and truly a reworking of how they are going to approach free-to-play light spenders, medium spenders, etc. in the game, as well as, and definitely not last, either a form of merging servers or cross-server mobilization by means of the guilds being able to work in multiple servers to recruit people and to have those people available to you, because you are going to want to keep that activity up. There is a lot more things I could talk about, but to me, that is the biggie right now that needs to be addressed, the elephant in the room. Let me know your thoughts, what you think needs to be addressed, because I really do want this game to survive. I'm going to be very active in bug reporting and sending emails in. I want to see what these developers are now going to do. Okay, you released the game, great. Now what's your next steps? So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.